Hey everybody, welcome to another Cricut Craft tutorial. Today I want to teach you guys how to make a countdown calendar. In this case, we are going to make a Christmas countdown calendar. These are great though for any kind of special occasion, wedding, special parties, Halloween, which is my favorite, great for vacations or if a special family member might be coming to visit. And these are great for kids, families, or even adults. All we needed for this was some vinyl and a dollar store dry erase board. Let's get over to Design Space and I'll show you how we're going to template this so that we can make sure everything fits. So like I do with all of these, I always start with a template. And I know that I've got about 10 by 8 to work with. So we're going to open up a shape and I'm going to use a square. We're going to unlock our square by clicking on this little lock button. And we're going to make it 8 wide by 10 high. The reason we're doing that is it just shows us where we can kind of work with on our space. So this is going to be, our space for our Christmas countdown. So the first thing I'm going to do is we're going to use the text, and I'm going to do days till is going to be one part of it. That's just going to be at the top. And the next line will be Christmas. And I'm probably going to change my font, but we'll just kind of set it up real quick while we're, designing. I want to show you guys how to design this like from start to finish. So I'm going to put a circle, and all I do is just open a circle. And I'm going to change the color so that we can see it better. It doesn't matter what color you make it, just pick any color. And this is where we're going to put our days until Christmas countdown. And we're going to move stuff around and kind of make some more fun things that are going to go with it. And I'm going to go ahead and open another shape, and we're going to do another circle because I want to show you, in order to get the outline of the circle, we need to slice it. So I'm going to make a circle smaller than that circle. And all you want to do is just center it best you can on your other circle, select them both, and select slice. You can only slice two things at once, which is why I had to move it off of the board, because we can only slice two things at once. So we'll move our circle over, and I'm going to make this a little bit bigger. And I think what we're going to do is put this kind of more in the center, down towards the bottom, because I think I want my little guy to wear like a Santa hat, and I'm probably going to make the circle black, but at the same time, we'll see. That's what I like about this. You can design them however you want. Now, I have Cricut Access right now because I just got a new machine. So let me see if we have any Santa hats available to us through the Design Space app. If not, we'll just go on Google and find one. But I think we're going to use... Oh, here. This one's pretty cute. Of course, it doesn't have the Access A, which means I don't get it. You guys can filter these, which is nice. And you can filter them so that you show just what you can use through Cricut Access. I should have done that at the beginning, but it's up here under Filter. You just click Filter, and then you can easily search by what you have access to. Now, we can easily use this one, and I'm going to show you how to do it. I like that hat. I think it's cute. So we'll insert the image, and we're going to move it over here so that we can see it better. And apparently it comes with all sorts of little pieces. So let's go ahead. And I don't want these at all. I like this hat. I think. You know what? Actually, I think maybe. Yeah, let's use one of these hats. So let's get rid of that. We don't want that. I want to use one of these. I'm going to ungroup this because I don't want this gray piece at all. And I only want the white and the red. I don't want this gray piece. So when you ungroup, you can move things around and remove the parts that you don't want. You just delete them. And then we're going to use these. So what I'm going to do is hold them both together because I'm going to resize them at the same time so that they fit over our circle. And that way they are both the same size. So there we go. Now keep in mind our background is white, so we may need to think about that when placing our vinyl, and we may actually use a shimmer silver or perhaps a sparkle. It's just going to depend on what we decide to do. So we can make everything bigger. We can move things around. It's just all a matter of what you want. But first, let's find a font. I know because I have Access, let's use something off of Access for this design. I wonder, nice thing is you can search, and I don't know if they're going to have anything called Christmas, but let's look. They don't. So let's just do a little scrolling and see what we can find. I don't typically use the Access stuff. I don't normally have it. But since I have access to it right now, let's see what we can find. I swear they had one that looked like Christmas lights that might be kind of fun. If anybody remembers that one, please let me know. If you guys have a favorite font, let me know down below because I am all about the fonts. But I swear Cricut had one that looked like Christmas lights, and I could be losing my mind. But I swear at one point in my life, I saw it, and now I want it. And you think I'm going to find it? Probably not. Wonder if I just search the word light. I'm afraid to search it because then I'll lose my spot. So let's just keep scrolling and see. But I think one like looks like Christmas lights could be really fun. All else fails, there's a bunch of really fun, cute ones that we could use. Oh, this one could be fun. Let's see what it looks like. Oh, that's awful. That's really hard to read. Let's continue on in our journey. I really wanted one that looked like Christmas lights. If I can't find one, we'll use something else, but I just thought it would be kind of a fun thing to do. Now, a lot of people do struggle with fonts, and I have to admit, sometimes I am a font struggler. If you do, there's a lot of different things that you can use to help you decide. So a lot of times what you'll do, you want to use, if you're going to use two different fonts, I don't recommend using two blocky fonts or two script fonts together. You want to break them up so it's a script font and a block font. You don't want to do anything that's super duper colorful with something that's also super duper colorful but in totally different colors. So like see some of these are kind of crazy colors. You wouldn't want to do two of these crazy colored ones together. They're a little bit too much. So that's something that you want to think about when you are doing these. Now we can filter these again. We can filter them to show my fonts. And this will only show me what I have access to, which as you can see with Cricut Access isn't a ton of stuff. Let's see what we like. Let's see how that one looks. I just sort of wanted something fun. And a little bit more interesting. So let's change it to green. And let's see how we feel about it in green. Now this one has double layers. So if you wanted to, you could cut the two circles out. I wouldn't use probably that color green, but I do sort of like this. It's kind of fun, but it's not quite what I was going for. So let's just go back into our system fonts and just find something else. I want something kind of chunky. I know this is the worst part of designing, guys. I hate it. All right, let's just go with something more like this because that's probably fine. I'm not really loving it, but we'll get there. And we'll do Christmas in a script font. Not that one. Let's do Christmas in, I want to do Christmas in something fun and scripty. The other thing to keep in mind too, if this is going to be for a family with young children, you may want to use fonts that are going to be easier for them to read. The young kids sometimes do struggle with reading some of the script fonts, so you want to keep that in mind. There's some really cute swirly fonts that you can use for types of things like this. Like this one's really easy to read. It's called Pretty Girl Script. I don't remember where I found it, but I want to say that I did find it probably on 1001 fonts, but it could have been DaFont. But I really feel like it was 1001 fonts. So I'm just going to move them closer together, and all I'm doing is using the lines or the letter spacing right up here at the top, and I'm just clicking down a bunch. And I'm going to just click down until I like where it's at, and I can see that I'm going to need to manually move these because see how it's kind of interlocking, but the R didn't interlock with the H right away. So what you can do is you just ungroup, and I'll select these couple letters right here that I like the way they were sitting and just move those over a little bit. And then all I'm going to do is just move my fonts over based on how I liked those, the R and the H fitting together. And you do want to make sure that they touch. This one is a little bit tricky because you don't want it too close, you don't want it too far away. So we're going to go ahead and select the whole word and weld it. and then we're going to move it over here. And I think I may change the font on this one to the same font as that because I just don't like this impact. I think it looks kind of weird. It's not my thing. The nice thing is you can search your fonts, which is really fun. And so it makes life so much easier. We're going to do the same thing with this. We're going to ungroup it. We're not even going to letter space because I can already tell it's going to be a pain. So we're just going to go ahead and ungroup it and move them as we wish so that they are where I want them to be. Now this one's going to be a little bit weird because see how that I wants to be part of the T? So we're not going to let those two touch at all. It's just going to be a little bit different. And then we're going to just slide him up a little bit so he matches. And let's move this out of the way, and we just want to select all those letters and weld. We can move this back over so we can get a good look at what we're doing. And we're going to have to resize this down. And then we're going to make the Christmas bigger. Now, if you guys want to add more stuff, you know, family name, oops, or whatever you may want, you are obviously welcome to do that. But we're just going to keep it fairly simple for this one. And I can make this bigger now that I see how big I want my words. So I'm going to make this nice and big so we can easily write inside of it. Okay, so all we have to do now, because everything is pretty well put together, let's get rid of our template in the back. We don't need it anymore. So let's remove that. Now I want to keep the spacing on these, so I'm going to attach them, which is just selecting both of them and clicking attach. I'm not going to attach the Santa hat at all because I'm just going to place it by hand. It won't be a big deal. So let's click make it so you guys can see how it's going to cut. It's going to cut our Santa hat, which again we're going to do in a different color than white. It's going to cut our words and then our circle, and for some reason our Santa hat is a different color. So let me show you what we can do. You can actually take him and move him to another mat and just move him to this mat. Even though it looks like he was the same color on the screen, he was not. So we're going to go ahead and I'll get it cut out, and then we can get this all put together. We're ready to apply our decal, and all I'm using is a medium tack transfer tape from 651 vinyl. Stuff's really nice. I can reuse it a couple times on my designs, so I like it, and it's really easy to use. I flip my decal over. This is just a personal preference thing, but I like to flip mine over and peel this way rather than the other direction. I just find it sticks a little bit better. So then we're going to get our dry erase board. Again, this is just from the Dollar Tree, and who doesn't love the Dollar Tree? And I just use my own, I don't know, I just sort of line it up by myself. I don't ever really completely use a level. I just eyeball it. If it's not perfect, no one is going to notice except you. So don't worry too much if it's not 100% perfect. Now I will say on these Dollar Tree ones, do not press super hard with your squeegee. You'll leave lines and you don't want to do that. It does really stick pretty well to these, so you're not going to need a lot of pressure to do it, but make sure you go over the little dots in the eyes a little bit just to make sure that they are going to stick. So you're just going to pull your transfer tape off. And I'm just going to do this nice and slow. Hopefully you guys can see this. I kind of have you in a weird spot right now because this is sort of a bigger project. But we're just going to peel our transfer tape off. And this really does like to stick pretty well, so don't worry too much. And there we go. We have our days till Christmas. And now we're going to put our circle, which I've already put the transfer tape on. Again, I just need to press it down a little bit onto the transfer tape. And we're just going to do that really quick. It doesn't take much to do. And flip it over. And then again, just peel it off. And I know that with my circle, I'm going to put it a little bit lower. And we're just going to try to center it again. It doesn't have to be perfect. Nobody will notice. And you just lay your circle down. And we'll see if this one will stick without too much pushing, because we're going to have to push it down. Sometimes you can get stuff to stick, like it just really likes to stick to it, and then other stuff, it's just not going to happen. So this one, like I said, just don't press too hard because these are Dollar Tree and they're just cardboard with like a coating on the front that you use to write on. So they're not exactly like high quality, but they work for what we're using. So then we have our silver, which is our little bottom part of our Santa hat because we couldn't do white because our white board. So I'm reusing the transfer tape just from the circle, and I'm just going to place it right over that and just press. Now, because this is a metallic, it's going to need pressed a little bit more, and then we'll flip it over again. And I can already see there's like glitter from previous projects stuck to the edges of my transfer tape. It's fine. So then you just take your little silver from your Santa hat and figure out where you want your hat to sit. It doesn't have to be exact. You can just, you know, eyeball wherever you think you want it to sit. And then you just peel it up again. This is such an easy, fun project, and it's great to get the kids involved too with these if you want to have them help kind of decide how they want their Christmas countdowns to look. And you can use these for lots of things, vacations, school breaks, things like that. So it's really fun. Maybe like a special family member is going to come visit. These are just really fun, and you can keep the kids involved that way. So then you're just going to lay your red piece of your hat about where you think it needs to go. And that's why I kind of picked this whimsical looking hat, because if it's a little bit off, it doesn't matter because it's supposed to be a little bit off. And then all we're going to do is just peel it up. And peel, 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 peel. And we are all done. This does come with a dry erase marker, which I have misplaced, but I will find it. And, oh, it is on the floor. There it is. So it does come with a dry erase marker. I have no idea how many days away from Christmas we'll be when I post this. So let's just go with we are 25 days away. So let me move you guys a little bit so you can see it. Here's our finished project. I love the silver on this. I think it looks really pretty. And you guys can add family name, you can add snowflakes, whatever you want to add. But this is just a really fun family craft that you can keep in your house all Christmas long, and the kids can change it, you can change it. Great for offices, very easy, super cheap to do. This was only $1 for the frame, and the vinyl was, you know, some scraps I had, and then just some other vinyl, which if you're a crafter, you probably have vinyl. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. I put out new videos all the time. Hit the bell icon because that will let you know when I post a new video. We're going to have so many coming up for Christmas that you don't want to miss out on. If you have any questions, please post those down below. Always happy to answer those for you. And if you're looking for any tutorials, leave that in the comments below as well, because I make these tutorials because you guys are looking for them. I hope you guys had fun learning how to make this really fun countdown calendar. Have a great day and happy crafting!